with tutorial to our add-on interpolation. You can see now a scene that we will be using to show how to work with our tool to create movement. First, you need an object and an empty object to put there as a trajectory. Well, we select this empty object, and now you go to some properties and select an image which you are going to use. In our case, it's circuit PNG. Accept. Okay, and now you can see this map with the trajectory that we will be using. Now it's time to install our add-on. To do this, you go to Edit, Preferences, and Install. Now you select a file, interpolation zip, and install add-on from File. So here you tick and close the window. Then press N and you will see the tab Movimiento and Trajectoria, which is actually our add-on. Now let's come closer to using it. First, what you need to do is create the trajectory. In our case, we already have it. But to create it, you need insert some keyframes, and the important thing is that we put keyframes in such moments when the trajectory changes its direction. For example, like here or here. Okay, after creating the trajectory, you can start using our tool. But before this, you need to keep in mind that after using add-on tool, your action will be changed. So if you want to be able to return to it, you should store it somewhere in memory. To do this, you go to Dope Sheet and Action Editor. And now we have Web Action, which is an action for our object. To store it, you can copy it and rename, for example, for linear, because now we are going to deal with linear interpolation. Linear 1. Okay. Now you can safely use our add-on. Okay, what you can see in our add-on. The first thing is a checkbox random. When you check it, it means that your action will be created with a certain deviation. So you should keep in mind that if you tick it, your interpolation will not be so accurate. It will contain some difference. Then you choose type of interpolation. It can be linear, Hermite, or Catmull-Rom. We start with linear. Then you choose frames periodicity. What it actually means? Okay, it means that a new keyframe will be inserted after every 3 keyframes in our case. If you want less or more, you can choose it. Then, if you are not ticked random, this is the only options that you can use. Okay, we will use this one, and we change it to 1 and interpolate. So you can see that something changed. It's our new action. Let's see how it works. Okay, I think you understood. Well, what we can do now, we can return to our previous action. So it's very easy. But if you want to create something new, you should copy it again and, for example, rename it to linear 2. Linear 2. Yes, it's our new action. And, for example, we want to try random. Here we, for example, change for 3, and we use amplitude 0.5 and frequency 0.25. Okay, interpolate. So you can see that our object starts dragging. it's because of using random option. Of course, you can change amplitude to make it greater or less to control how your object should drag. Well, we will try it now. We return to our first action, web action, copy it again, and rename to linear 3. Yes, then we select linear, for example, frames periodicity. Okay, it can be 5, and we select another value of amplitude. It can be 1. Interpolate. Let's see how it works. You can notice that because of frames periodicity equal to 5, our ball is going to drag slower because, well, we insert less keyframes and our action is more interpolated by Blender. Okay, now we continue. Let's see how it can be shown in graph editor. Well, when it comes to action which we have now, it's linear 3. Yeah, it's a bit dragging, but if you choose another one, which is linear 2, you will see that it's dragging a bit more. Yeah, and when it comes to linear 1, it is not dragging at all. Yes, so you can see that here we use just linear interpolation. Well, the second part is hermited interpolation. Let's try it. Well, we go to the sheet action editor and we return to our action, we copy it, and it will be hermit 1. Well, we select hermit and some properties, doesn't matter which, interpolate. What you can see is that some arrows were created which show the direction and the speed of our object. One more thing that is important is that while using hermit interpolation, we have action like this. You know, it is cubic interpolation. For example, if we go again to dope sheet and action editor and we create one more hermit, it is hermit 2. Yes, we can interpolate with another values, for example 0.5, another frequency to make random, another one. Okay, and now interpolate. What you can see is that while using hermit interpolation, the object is moving more like rapidly in some cases and stops more rapidly. That's because of cubic interpolation, so our velocity changes more rapidly. It's accelerating rapidly and it's stopping more like in more rude way. Okay, stop. And the last one is cut-more-rom interpolation. Let's check it, how it works. Web action, copy, and here we put cut-more-rom, for example 1. Okay, cut-more-rom. Now one more option is available. It is tau. What is tau? Well, let's see. When tau is 0.3 and we interpolate, it will go like this. You can see some strange actions. Yeah, that's cut-more-rom. But when, well, we can look at it in Graph Editor. Yeah, that's something like this. But okay, let's try another tau. We go to dope sheet and we copy one more time the action. It will be cut rom 2. Okay, and now we will put tau, for example, 0.7. Interpolate. Well, that's the thing that you should notice is that your object goes out of scene. The action becomes more free because we add some more tau, and now the action is more strange, as you can see. If you go to a Graph Editor, yeah, you can see it in Graph Editor because the trajectory also changed a lot. Well, when it comes to some extreme values of tau, we can try, for example, you know, it's well, action, we copy it, and it's cut rom 3, and we can put it, for example, 0.5, and let's see what is it. Yeah, it's very, very strange because it goes out of scene very far away, really far away. Okay, and yes, it stops very rapidly. Note that you can always use some actions that you created earlier. For example, we can assign emitter to this object or something like this. So you can interpolate it one more time, for example, with linear interpolation. Yeah, you interpolate one more time, and now you have like mixed interpolation for this object. One more important thing is that the options that you shouldn't use are always blocked. So the user can't like assign some properties to amplitude when he uses no random option. It prevents us from some errors in our program, and also if your object doesn't have any like action defined, for example, we add new new object cube, for example, yeah, you cannot interpolate it because it doesn't have any keyframes for it and any action at all. But for example, if we delete all keyframes for our initial object, you can see that you cannot interpolate it now because you have an action defined, but it doesn't have any keyframes. So I think it is all. Thank you for your attention.